Hello, this is Mark Smith with Family Tree Counseling Associates, and I'm going to record 3 videos today, and they're taken from the archives of old articles of mine or old blogs, and they made the cut. This week is number 1, they're about marriage. Number 2, they've been very popular in terms of people reading. We have sheets of our articles, my articles around the office, and this one has always been, well, one of them, of the 3, has been very popular. And then the third option is, it has sort of a cool, catchy, fun title. So, popular, fun title, taken from the archives about marriage. So the first one I'm going to do is, marriage is like boiling in a hot, spicy bowl of chili. And those of you who've been getting my blogs remember this from a couple years ago. But I don't believe I made a video about it. So let me tell you about a dream I had. This was a couple years ago, and in my dream I saw a man completely covered with chili. All you could see was his bugging eyes, and he looked very uncomfortable, and he ran up to me and he wiped his hand on my chest, and he got spicy chili juice on my chest, and my chest began to burn from the spices, not from the heat. So I ran to the bathroom and I washed off the chili from my chest, and that was the dream. So several years ago, actually about 2007, I spent a year in Jungian analysis. And Jungian therapy is pretty cool. It's purely dream analysis. So I came to a local Jungian therapist who was very good. And the therapy consisted of, I would hand him a list of my dreams for that week. And I was quite a prolific dreamer. I would hand him anywhere from 7 to 13 recorded, typed out dreams. And he would go through and he would ask me questions about, okay, Mark, what do you associate with chili? Okay, so he had some sense of how I associated with each particular item in the dream. And then he would give me some dream analysis. And I found it to be very interesting. Basically what dreaming is you're doing therapy. You're doing very intense therapy, but you're dreaming in code so as it not to freak you out, so that you don't wake up every 20 minutes all night long. But if you are somebody who's deeply connected to yourself and deeply connected to your emotions, you're going to dream a lot. People who aren't connected to their emotions and are really disconnected from themselves, they don't dream a lot. So you dream in code, and when I woke up, I'm pretty sure I knew what the dream was about. I had been in a lot of searing emotional pain in my relationship with my significant other, and I associated it immediately with that. The price of being in a relationship is that you are going to eventually spend quite a bit of time boiling in the proverbial pot of hot, spicy chili. Now, you're going to marry somebody whose very nature is built and designed to have the ability to hurt you deeper than almost anybody on the planet. We all marry the right person, and we marry somebody generally who is our type, and unfortunately our type is somebody who's basically has the worst qualities of our parents. The worst qualities of whoever hurt us the most, that's who you're going to be attracted to. It's a wicked system that Mother Nature has thought up. It really is human nature to avoid pain. You notice that in my dream, as soon as I felt pain, I ran to the bathroom to wash it off. We run from painful experiences. Now, if you haven't yet experienced much in the way of awful, emotionally violent pain in your relationship, then this video isn't going to make much sense to you. And you're a babe in the woods. Many years ago, I stayed at an elderly woman's home at Purdue near the campus and as a boarder. She called me her star boarder, and she'd serve me applesauce cake and constant comment tea. And I'd take the trash out once a week, and she called me a babe in the woods. And I'll tell you right, she was correct about that. I was a babe in the woods. And if you haven't experienced much pain, you're a babe in the woods too. Your day is coming, my friend, I assure you, and you will experience something very similar to what I'm describing to you. Probably what's gone on is that you haven't yet spent enough time in your relationship. Most relationships you get 7, almost 10 years as a young person before you even start to drift apart. And then if you have small children, generally no one cares if you're self-actualized when you're raising small children. It's not about that. It's not about if you're happily married. It's about getting the kids fed and bathed and getting diapers on butts and keeping them from crying. So whether or not you're terribly emotionally happy in your marriage, nobody really cares. But as they get into school, that's when people get into mid to late 30s, early 40s, mid 40s. That's when you jump into the chili pot, some of you for the first time. The typical reaction to this type of emotional pain is we got to get to the therapist's office. We haven't done therapy our whole lives. Our family of origin was crazy as can be, but we thought we beat that, and we haven't gone to therapy. But we go to therapy at that point, and if the therapy doesn't take, it's followed by a trip to the lawyer's office. Because once the core issues of your childhood get replicated in your marriage, it absolutely positively is too painful to withstand, for the next 30, 40 years. So many times we're shocked when our partner hurts us so deeply. Don't be shocked when your partner hurts you deeply. Given how broken and how dysfunctional our childhoods all were, how can we expect that our adulthoods are going to hold the promise of safety and happiness for decade after decade? Come on now. If you had a distant, abandoning father, or an alcoholic mother, or one of your parents died early, or there was an ugly divorce when you were 7, or your dad raged, or your mom criticized, you're not going to live in marital bliss, I assure you. You might get 7 years of something close to marital bliss, but you're not going to get 10. You might get 10, you're not going to get 15 or 20 or 30. The people that get 10 are few and far between. Mother Nature has chosen a weapon to tear down our psychological defenses. We're given psychological defenses in our childhood to survive our childhood. But when we get into midlife, Mother Nature has gotten the babies. Mother Nature has 2 agendas. Number 1 is to get babies and propagate the species. The second agenda is to heal our wounds. Mother Nature is very invested in healing our bodies. If I were to cut my finger, then immediately red blood platelets arrive on the scene and begin to coagulate the blood. and begin a healing process. 2 weeks later, I don't have a cut. And Mother Nature wants to do that to your emotions, but can't, because Mother Nature provided you with a titanium strength set of psychological defense mechanisms. So Mother Nature needed something that almost everybody participates in, that's powerful enough to tear your walls down, that's time released. That doesn't happen initially, but happens 7, 10, 15, 20, 25 years later. So the tool that Mother Nature has chosen is a crazy little thing called love and marriage. Almost everybody falls in love. It is time released because initially you're enmeshed, you're stoned, you're happy, you're in love. You stand before the preacher and we sing songs about how beautiful it is and how long you're going to be married. But the truth comes out eventually that this fellow that you thought was so trustworthy is just as untrustworthy as your father. And this woman that you thought would never abandon you is abandoning you just as ruthlessly as your mother did. So everyone is attracted to exactly the right person. There are no mistakes in relationships. We pick who we need to pick, and we deserve exactly what they deliver to us. We sign on for it. The UPS man comes with his package, and we sign for the package. And if you're staying in a marriage that you signed on for to begin with, every day you stay in that marriage, you're signing on for what you get. And it's all good and it's all fair. So there are no victims in marriage, ever. Ever, ever, ever. Your marriage is a gift intended to help you grow and intended to help you heal. So are you thankful for the gift? When I was in my woman's codependency group this week, I was talking about my relationship pain. And I've always taught the ladies in there that your pain and your relationship is a gift. So one of the gals reminded me with a gleeful smile that my pain was a gift. And I told her I understood why she curses me when I say that. It's hard to hear sometimes. It is sometimes difficult to be thankful when your part of the gift of your spouse is them boiling you in a pot of hot, spicy chili from time to time. Harville Hendricks, the writer of the book Getting the Love You Want, which I think is the best book ever written on marriage counseling, and he's the founder of Imago Therapy International. He says the intentionally conscious couple, they make a decision to see their couplehood and the pain in their couplehood as a growth and healing journey. It's not a destination. They understand that the pain in their relationship is a tool of Mother Nature to help them heal and grow. A local Imago therapist, Dr. Baca, said, "What we do in our culture is to blame our partner rather than seeing them as a tremendous asset to our healing process." And I think that's a priceless quote, and it can save you the pain and great expense of a divorce. I'm going to say it again. Dr. Bern Baca, what we do in our culture is blame our partner rather than seeing them as a tremendous asset in our healing process. It takes a lot of reframing to shift an embittered wife's perspective to seeing her hurtful and unhealthy husband as being an asset versus just being an ass. She sees him as an ass, not an asset, and that's a big paradigm shift. Dr. Baca also said, ultimately, not a huge amount gets really changed in your marriage when all is said and done. What you have to do is get to the point of accepting who your spouse is. Ironically, it's that point that they actually begin to start giving you what you need. Dr. Baca, Imago therapist. So don't be shocked. Don't be discouraged if your marriage is in a tremendous place of pain. It's normal. It's a good thing. It's meant for your growth. And ultimately, it can help remake you and help re-engineer your personality from the ground up, which is what recovery is. Your spouse is your teacher. They are in your life to help break you down and to force you to work on yourself. You cause them as much pain as they cause you. So learn from your pain. Don't feel ill-used. Don't feel victimized. If you do, then you'd be missing the point of your marriage and your relationship altogether. Do not join with society's tendency to scapegoat and blame the acting out, imperfect, or screwing up spouse. Dig deep within your own family history to gain an understanding of why you married who you married. And what issues are they attempting to stir up deep within your soul? This theory of mine, I assure you, is not psychobabble. It is an immutable law of nature, and it is stone-cold truth about the nature of love. If you are going to divorce your problematic spouse, your hurtful spouse, you're just going to marry another version of them the next time around. Marriage problems aren't really marriage problems. They are childhood problems in disguise. So try to stay out of the chili pot if you can, but if you end up in one, and you will, learn from it. Turn it into the pivotal growth experience of your lifetime. It is all good. The pain is worth the end result of a connected, usually fulfilling, sometimes still in the chili pot, lifetime partnership that you can build a successful life around. So I tell people, you're not going to get emotional bliss. What you're looking for is something that works, that has more windows of heaven than windows of hell. And as you both continue to do work on yourself, you'll have a lot more windows of heaven than windows of hell. But you're going to have a few windows of hell from time to time as bad circumstances sort of align themselves and you're in stressful situations. So embrace the pain of your marriage and know that marriage is meant to heal you and help you to grow. So if you have not joined our channel on YouTube, it's Family Tree Counseling. We've got over 1,100 subscribers, and it grows by over 112 every 28 days. And we're just thrilled with that because we're able to reach people from all across the world. Also, visit our website. It's familytreecounseling.com. And I have ebooks on there for purchase at low prices on abandonment issues, on shame, on counterdependency, on marital issues, and on sort of the basic recovery insights, and also on affair recovery. So thank you very much for watching today. And I got a couple more coming your way. Thanks.